Yo, what is up guys? Today we're heading to a track day. Now I don't have a lot of experience with track days, this is only my second one. I'm going to be riding my daily machine to the track, racing it around and riding it back. I am extremely fortunate however, because my girlfriend and my parents are heading up there. So I have a means of getting my tools, clothing, food, water, any other extra things that I may need up to the track without having to carry all of that on my back, most of which I wouldn't even be able to fit in my backpack. We've got about an hour and a half to ride up to the track, but I'm excited guys, let's do this. Alright guys, we made it in one piece. My fingers feel like they're gonna fall off. It is really nippy out here. The ride over is just as uncomfortable as it was last time. I did wear a thermal layer and I was a bit more prepped for how cold it would be, but unfortunately it didn't make it any better. So we're gonna go sign in, we're gonna go get our bike scrutineered, and then we're gonna go get our gear hire. So what ended up happening was I signed in, but because I've opted for the tuition package, there was actually a track walk around, which was beginning pretty much immediately, so I didn't have time to get my gear or scrutiny of my bike. We did the track walk, we did the track briefing, and then I was able to get my hire gear and my helmet and bike scrutineered. And then after that, it was just chatting to the blokes that I met in the pits, and it was out for session one, which was the session I ended up missing last time round. And it's clear I didn't miss much because it was yellow flag the whole session. The first couple laps are always yellow flag, but someone crashed out and they were just kind of standing at the side, left to their own devices while we finished the session, which is odd because usually they'd red flag us. So we come into the pits, they go recover the bike, and then you're sent out. They didn't do that this time. So that was a very slow, easy, chill session just to get the eye in, get the bike warmed up a little, the tires ready for the next session. But now it's time for some sandwiches from the Gutter Ash Ride support vehicle. Let's do it. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a sore sight compared to a few hours ago. I am fatigued to all heck. Is that my group? Oh, it's green. Okay, no, we're good. After my last track day where I missed one, I'm just paranoid. Anyway, yeah, so I'm fatigued. My times aren't as good as the first track day I had a month ago. I've got to be really careful because there's now this pressure for me to try and beat that lap time I had last time. But I'm fatigued. I've got a bike that has to be ridden home and I can't really afford to crash. So it's really easy to make dumb decisions, end up off the track and have a really big headache to deal with afterwards, which I'm trying to avoid. There's also this mental aspect to it because so many people have crashed today compared to the last time I came here. Like, I don't know, I saw maybe like 4 or 5 crashes throughout the day, but this is like 2 crashes a session, man. It's ridiculous, especially in the red group, which is the group I'm in. I literally had a guy come off his bike 2 bikes ahead of me, and you know, I saw him low side, I saw his body flip, but the good thing is most people who crash on the track are okay. Yeah, so if we're starting from the first session, man, someone came off and that person then came off again the next session, and I think that was the last I saw of them. Also, one of the friends I made at tuition, unfortunately the dealer had not tightened his sump plug, so he spilled his entire engine of oil along the track, and it covered like half of it.
When you go out, you'll see there's a distinctive line on where the oil is. Avoid that if you can for the first couple of laps till it starts drying out, but just be very, very careful. You'll see the line as you go around, so just take it easy. There's no hurry, there's no rush, all right?
And it took a good hour to clean up, so the day was delayed by that. And then you just had crash after crash after crash, and they'd bring out the yellow flag. So you'd get maybe like 1 or 2 good laps in, and even then they're not great because there's traffic. There's a lot more people in the red group today, and that's because the last time I was here they split the tuition group and the red group into 2 separate classes, but this time they don't have a separate group for the tuition. By consequence, there is a lot of traffic. What to do? I need to find a way to gain a bit more fulfillment from knowing I'm making progress rather than looking at the lap times, which currently aren't as good as last time. Yeah, so it's an extremely physically taxing sport, this. I'm zonked, man. And last time I felt like this, I did start to head off, but I'm gonna try and make the most of the 2 sessions I have left this time, because I'm gonna try not to chase lap times. I'm gonna try my best to just consolidate those lines that we've been taught today. All right, gang, we've gone and done it. I said I wasn't chasing lap times, but we ended on a 1:10, which is phenomenal in my opinion. I was not expecting it at all. This is the high that I'm chasing when I come to something like a track day, and boy, does it hit. It is addictive, man. It is so addictive. It's so fulfilling, and yeah, you can probably hear the difference between my last recording and this one. So yeah, I am over the moon. Yeah, couldn't have done it without this incredible machine, and I couldn't have done it without Gutter Ash's biggest fans, the Gutter Ash support crew, my parents, and my beautiful girlfriend, who made their way out to support me today, which they really didn't have to. And now I have the absolute pleasure of riding this home. I will say I'm very knackered, but I'm not gonna do the last session. I'm gonna end it on that high. I think it's smart to call it quits at a time like this, and it gives me a little bit of energy in the reserves for this ride home, because I do need my wits about me. It's a long ride. It's gonna be on public roads with high speed limits through urban areas. So the day isn't over yet, but I'm happy. This is the climax, this is the peak. See you guys at home. We fueled up the mighty Ninja 400 and hit the road. During the ride back home, I had heaps of time to reflect upon the day. The more I thought about it, the less sense it made for me to have achieved a 1 minute and 10-second lap time around Broadford. That's pretty fast and would have put me firmly into green group. A good majority of my laps was sitting around the 1:20 mark, and there wasn't a single lap that felt 10 seconds faster than any of the others. I was therefore met with the bitter realization that it was more likely for my GPS to have screwed up than for me to have achieved a 1:10 lap time. I made it home in one piece and I was completely exhausted, but I could not rest until I verified my lap time. I checked my timing app and came to realize that the GPS data was looking really funky. It was able to closely approximate my lap times, but there were some real inconsistencies, and the biggest one of them all was the 1:10 lap time. This therefore confirmed what I feared. I was pulled off my high and punched in the gut by the cold, hard iron fist of reality. After the initial pain had worn off, I came to realize that it was still an amazing day. I learnt so much from the tuition sessions, I met a bunch of new people, and I got to ride my bike like a bat out of hell. To those of you I met at the track, it was a pleasure to learn and ride alongside you. I'm keen to rip it with you guys again sometime soon. So there you go guys, it was an absolute success of a day, and yes, the timing was off, but that's fine. It's got me more excited for the next track day. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I will catch you on the next one.
You say you got them guns, but I've never seen you bang. You say you got them drugs, but I've never seen you slang.